Finally, here we are. So this is what? Day 9, day 10? Losing track of these days. Let's see. Oi! Hey! It's a tiny yellow bird. Oh, I wish I can... What? Look at this. Look at this guy. This is so special. You know? This is very special. These are these moments, these magical moments that that can happen when you are aligned with your energy like this. So this is Channeling Jesus, day number 10. And the way that I channel is different. So I call upon him. So I call upon Jesus Christ to use my mind, use my body, use my words, direct my thoughts, actions, and let this be uplifting for the beings that are watching, that are meant to come across this information. And then I've stated the direction of the energy. And then what I do is I just start to talk about what is going on for me and the body right now. And then they just take over. And you will feel what this is. It feels a bit strange to... On one level, this feels strange if I look at it from the ego's perspective, which many may do, because they might not comprehend what this channeling business really is. But it is a calibration to truth and to the here and now. It's actually a calibration to the here and now that you get the channeling, that you can receive the channeling and the centering in the now. But then what you are attracted to depends on your level of frequency, which depends on how clean you are on the inside, which depends on how many of these judgments have you harmonized, so that you don't go judging other people or think things that are detrimental about other people, right? Sometimes it can just be habitual. Like many are just doing things with their minds, and then it has an effect on them, and then they don't like the effect, but they are the one actually doing it inside, even if it is habitual, even if they hear the voices, but they are the one choosing. And sometimes it's not even a voice. You just sort of feel it as sort of an oppression, seeming oppression in your energy system. And that just means that there is something in your system that you have allowed to be that is not in balance with the natural truth of what you are. There he is again. So wonderful. This is amazing. Oh my God. Shit, I have to see if I have some other recording devices here. Okay, now I'm ready. I have a GoPro in case the guy comes back, or girl. This is so wonderful. I love this. My body loves this. This is so wonderful because it's a confirmation of the alignment for my body. This is actual proof that there is alignment within this system. It's proof when a bird can come that close just to confirm to me, because that's Gaia, just to confirm to me that, yes, my dear, you are that aligned. That is what it is. It's confirmation. It's such a beautiful and wonderful thing to receive. It's such a gift, because that means that I have, first of all, I'm receiving right now from higher beings. That energy goes down to Gaia. And because I'm speaking it, it also opens my heart because I'm feeling it. And then it goes down to Gaia. And then it comes back up again. Whoa, he's here. I think I'm just gonna hold this here. Wait, give me a moment there. I just put up the GoPro because this is such a wonderful thing to actually share, if it's possible. And this was the third time that he was there. So that is confirmation of what is transpiring right now, which is this energetic confirmation that higher beings are, that I am hosting higher beings in my consciousness. That is the confirmation that is what it is. And also a lot of other things for me, like I'm living my soul purpose. I'm on track. This is exactly, yes, more of this. Yes, you're aligned. This is amazing. Yeah, keep doing this. More of this, like whatever you've been contemplating is working. Yes, more of this transformation, more of this knowledge. Yes. Sometimes it's not this up close. Sometimes it's a little bit further away. This is not that common, that it's so close. And that's a wonderful confirmation for this being and for us to show you how you can receive this alignment, which is what we can all experience here. It is a perception shift. There he is. Oh my God, I love you. Okay, I'm just gonna let him be and just let him. I hope I catch something with that camera. It's pretty wide. This is such a magical moment. I can't help it. It is just so magical. And now you can see the body's excitement, and you can see that also recorded. Right? And that is another aspect of our consciousness. But we also have these higher aspects. And then all of these aspects, and then sometimes we also have aspects in certain situations. When certain situations happen, we have other aspects that can be a younger aspect because maybe it's something that we haven't learned so much about. It's the same as if you are going to start to play the piano and you never played the piano before, you're going to be a baby when it comes to playing the piano. That is just facts. There's nothing shameful about that. You don't have to pretend that you know to play the piano if you don't know. It's just what it is. It's the facts of the matter. And the same way, when it comes to human behavior, certain situations we're still a baby at. And there's no point pretending that you got it figured out. You know, like that's not going to manifest it that you are you have to go through the lessons to learn. You can't bypass that. You can't manifest past learning. Learning is part of manifestation. You can manifest the right teacher for you. You can manifest the right situation and environment that you need for rapid acceleration towards the desired outcome. That is how it works. But there is no point pretending that we're better than we are. That is the ego's game. The ego likes to pretend, likes to blow itself up, likes to create fantasies and stories that are not real. This bird, seriously, so joyful, produced so much joy in my body. Oh, wonderful. That is what we're talking about. Savor those moments. Savor those moments of alignment. They're beautiful. They're nurturing. They make the body feel alive and connected to everything. You're always connected. But there's a certain calibration in order for you to realize that connection and experience that connection. Manifest. My body wants it to come back. But this is the thing, right? This is the calibration of the body. Now the body got something and it really liked it. But now it wants it back. So now it's clinging. It's like, it wants it. That's not in balance. You're not going to receive it like that. Right? So you have to move that energy back. No, that's not the way. Because that's not in harmony with the natural laws. You have to be in balance, not in duality. If you're craving something to be, you're pushing it away energetically. The same way as if you're resisting something, if it's something that you want away, you are trying to get rid of something by force and will because there's something you don't like. In order to be in energetic harmony, you have to come to terms with reality. Reality is this. Okay. Now I see that I was clinging. Okay, correction. All right. I can still just enjoy when that bird was there. I can still just enjoy it and just seeing it so up close and personal. And so personally messaging me directly, not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. Was it 4? Maybe it was 4. So this alignment can absolutely be trained. And this being has been through lots of deep cleansing of his psychology in order to be able to be humble enough to receive this information. It is a calibration. Everything. Every habit is a calibration. If it's too far this way, it needs to be calibrated. Only if you want to receive higher frequencies, obviously. You have full choice to do whatever you wish. And sometimes we have to just take one step at a time. That is absolutely comprehensible. We get that. And that is how you evolve. By doing one thing at a time. by doing one thing at a time. It's important not to take on too much so that you get so the system, the body, gets overwhelmed and just doesn't want to do it. There is a finesse to looking after the body. And this being is still calibrating and figuring this out. How to look after the body. He has calibrated enough for us to come through, to receive all of this knowledge of what is of benefit of humanity to do during these times, is to practice staying in higher frequencies of consciousness, because that will send ripples outward, because each one of you is a tuning fork. Each one of you sends out a frequency. And the frequency that you send out is what you feel inside. So there is a calibration inside so that your light can shine. And how does it look when your light shines? That can take many forms. That is like a flower. And you know how many types of flowers there are? Many, right? Equally, each one of you is a very unique type of flower. So you flower in different ways, depending on what you are as a soul and what you wish to bring through this body. What is the mission? What is your mission? What is it that you really want to do here? And that is the truth of who you are. That joyful, loving spark of joy, always optimistic, seeing the reality of this place as this wonderful playground, not taking it too seriously, but not taking it as a joke either, right? It is a game, but it's not, because to the body, this is no game. To the higher consciousness, this is all a game. But to the body, it has its experience. It's not a joke to the body because the body is living here, right? So it's you, the soul, the conscious awareness that I'm speaking to now that's receiving this information's job to look after the body. Precious, sweet bodies. And when you do that, and when you do that well, I thought I was taking care of this body before, but I was not. Right? Mm. Hey. Hey. Now at least I got him. Wow. Wow. So you see, just that calibration that I did with my body, that calibration makes it so that higher frequencies and higher magic can happen. And that's when Jesus comes through. That's when higher consciousness comes through. That's when your higher self comes through. That's when those good ideas come through. That's when all the magic that can happen in this experience comes through your body and manifests in experiences, people, wonderful events that is gifts from God through Gaia as confirmation for you how well you are aligned, how well you have aligned these bodies. And that is the work, to look at reality accurately. And so before you get to these synchronistic moments, there might be some hiccups. And those needs to be calibrated. They need to be harmonized, just like this. When this body wanted that bird to come back, that's just the same way. That is an imbalance, craving. That is the imbalance. That's it in that situation. And that's what it needs. The pulling back, the correction. That's the same for other things in your life. But you might have had a habit so that it takes longer to correct. It takes a little bit more effort because it will come up and then you have to recognize it. First of all, you have to recognize it. That's the first. You have to recognize your behavior and you have to recognize the things that you do that is toward it energetically. That's the first thing. And then the second, don't take it personal. You know, there's nothing personal. It's just what is happening. What is happening for the body? And be honest about that. Don't be shy, because it is just what it is. It's just a natural, okay, I'm not so good at this, I'm very good at that. Okay, good. And this is so important because we are being trained, I'm saying we, but you are being trained, humanity is being trained by the social media. You are sort of training yourself into, no. So this is calibration. This is calibration. So I could feel with my body, because I was aligned, that wasn't completely true. And how do I tell? I tell by the way I feel. That feels like, it feels like there's another word that feels more in alignment with what wants to be shared here. That's what it is. So that connection between what comes needs to be filtered through the body and then up again. So the body becomes the gauge if something is true or not. Right? And for that you need to be very honest. You need to be very truthful about what's actually happening. Otherwise you can't tell. Because if you're lying to yourself about your environment, you're not going to be able to tell what you're receiving is genuine or not. So the game is, first of all, it's very hot here. It's a little breeze, that's nice. And this is also the thing. Sometimes we see beings are in situations for too long when you know what the remedy is. Sometimes, just like now, the body felt hot. I could have treated this body as, okay, well, I need to sit in because we are recording, and I could have added on these restrictions on my body. But that's what they are. They're restrictions. They're restrictions to what? To make sure that this is presentable in a particular way. But if that would be the chosen looking for words here. If this would be the chosen way to be, then the correct information that we wanted to bring through here wouldn't have come through, which is sometimes you just have to open the door. Sometimes you just have to leave. Sometimes you just have to, whatever it is. Sometimes that is the fastest way to more harmony. Sometimes it is an outward action, even though everything is an internal calibration. So it's not that we're ignoring the outside. We're using the outside to see where we're at. But if it requires our action, obviously we will take action, because that's your responsibility with your body. Just because we are all one and all of that stuff, that is true. But the reality for the body in this game is different. And so it's nice to know all of that stuff. But then it's about bringing that in to the physical. How do we take that and bring it physical? Well, the first thing is that you calibrate and you harmonize. No clinging to any reality, no resisting any experience. Feel it through, and then respond appropriately of how you want to be treated. Treat others like you want to be treated. Do you want others to have a fake face and just pretend and, yeah, everything is fine? Or do you want a different experience? Be that change. Gandhi said that, be the change that you want to see in the world. And this is very fitting. Even in the small, mundane, everyday life conversations, we can make great leaps by just calling out what we see. See what happens. You know? You might just open up the most wonderful story of your life, because it takes those steps to start to walk your own unique path. That's what we wanted to share for this one. And we're looking forward to talking to you again more tomorrow. Thank you.